Well, hello once again. This is the Pantheon Project, and we're here talking about another race, the Revenant. And with me here we have Nightangel, Steelheart, and I'm
Hey,
Dashivah. And we're talking about the next race reveal for Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, the Revenant, which are the undead warlords. What did you guys think about having undead in
uh,
Terminus?
not really my cup of tea. I've never really played the undead. Most time I go more for humanoids like humans or barbarians, but undead's not my thing. But I know there is a big segment of the population that is all into the undead, the zombies, the vampires, and all that type stuff. So, if this is what they like to play and this fits the storyline Terminus has, which judging by the judging by the lore that we've had released with this, then by all means, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
definitely gonna
standard.
be. Yeah, it's gonna be a. Yeah, it's standard, right? It's expected, and so those people who love playing that undead race are gonna expect this, and it's in our game. So,
There you go.
yep. So a little bit about the Revenant. Their origin world, which is different from the Ogre, is Terminus. So they're actually originally from the planet we're gonna
Terminus.
be playing on.
Yeah,
So,
here.
yep. Current homeland, the Dead Ridges. Exciting.
Very original.
Yeah, Dead Ridges.
I think it's very fitting, yes.
If they move, it just becomes the dead wherever they moved.
Yeah.
The dead beach.
Right.
Yep. Their pantheon is Meraxian, which makes it interesting considering their background kind of
Yeah.
with pantheons or whether they believe in a pantheon or not. But I think our favorite thing that we all agreed on was their language, the chatter.
Come on, Knight, you gotta do it.
And Nightangel's gonna do it. Yep.
But that's what you think when you read chatter
Yeah,
and you think
exactly.
of all the horror movies you've seen and just the whispering little thing you can barely make out in the background. Yeah, pretty much. That's it. No, you're not getting that from me.
Yeah. And
No,
so
no.
they
Still
seem like
hearts
the
in your
typ-
face.
Yeah, they seem like the typical kind of undead race, right? Nothing,
Yeah.
nothing special or anything, but they do have an interesting kind of background, like what makes them like the Revenant, what makes them this undead kind of backstory, and so maybe Nightangel, if you can talk a little bit about their backstory, where they're coming from, and where we end up with them now.
Definitely an interesting start to their who they are as a race because they're faithless in life and bound by ancient rites. Um, so they were doomed to walk the lands of Terminus as the undead, but they were atheistic as warriors. So now they're powerful corpses that are bound to the service through the use of Meraxian death magic. So their whole existence is through this death magic, and because of that, their minds and their bodies are basically dependent upon this dark magic to sustain their forms. But so that makes them kind of malicious and psychotic, but they don't, because they were atheistic in life, they're not, they don't follow a deity, which kind of goes
Contrary to what
counterintuitive.
makes them alive, right?
Yeah,
right. Well,
but,
and also Pantheon,
yeah, but I mean, as the lore states, a little bit down, the reason that they were wandering around undead was because they didn't believe in a deity. And since they were agnostic, they didn't have anywhere to go when they died.
Yep.
So when Maratin, the god of warfare, came down, he needed an army, he just said, here's all these wandering souls and things around here. Hey, I can use this. Come forth. And he raised them up. And hence he has an army. And then the Revenant race was kind of an oxymoron. They were born. Brought
They were
forth.
unborn.
How's that? They were unborn.
Yeah, and so definitely interesting because it brings out with when the planar collisions brought alien races onto Terminus. So we don't know the other races, but for the moment, according to lore, the undead or the Revenant, all the other races are the aliens to them, right? And so even though they're dead and they shouldn't
much.
be here,
Although I'm sure there'll be other races that come out later on that were native to Terminus in addition to the ogres coming in, and other races that they haven't released yet. Most likely, probably humans were already on Terminus, more than likely.
Yeah.
Be my guess if I just had to throw that out there. Could be wrong, but that's usually our fate. Is we're usually not the invaders, we're the invaded.
Right.
So the undead, just a series of unfortunate bad choices for deities, or not choosing a deity, and so because of that, they are stuck with one that they rely on to be alive, but they're only in that position of living eternally like this because they didn't believe in one, and so it's like, it's kind of a cool story, right? Like,
yeah, definitely.
It is. It's kind of a doomed race because I don't think undead procreate. So when you kill them all, they're gone. I guess you could always raise some more.
raise them again out of different pieces. You're alive again.
But so their favorite thing to do, though, is to terrorize the living. So I guess they get a kick out of that.
But that's not necessarily all of them, because the last couple sentences of the description says, however, a community of near civilized revenants have risen in the far eastern caldera of the dead ridges. It is here the ruins of another civilization that some revenants hope to forge an undead society. So they're not stupid by any means. And that kind of hints that maybe they're not all bad either.
Could be. It talks about once they were separated from Ornithal and no longer under his control, and they just became basically homeless spirits. But then after the defeat and the exile of Ornithal fell, you have they were freed of their shackles, so they're no longer forced in servitude. But because of being in servitude and because of the magic that's holding them together, they're still considered. They said their brains are rattled, they're rotting, stench, and they have decayed visage. So they're still viewed as monsters, even if they're not, necessarily bad.
Yeah, and I like the last sentence in there in this story is, it is here in the ruins of another civilization that some of the revenants hope to forge an undead society. So they're just like a mess, like, I don't
pretty
know.
much. And
Homeless.
Mako, to answer your question, there is no game footage of this game yet. This Pantheon is a Kickstarter game being put out by Brad McQuaid and Visionary Realms, and right now we're in the process of kickstarting it. So if you're curious about the game, go to Kickstarter, find Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen, and look at it. If it's something that interests you, which it definitely interests us, kickstart it. It is going to be an absolutely amazing game.
Yeah, definitely. And so, just real quick, any classes we think? The undead will be?
Definitely the Dead Knight.
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, the Dark Knight. Dark Knight.
Rogue. Rogue.
Yeah, Rogue.
No,
Yeah.
I don't see Rogue.
I don't think so.
What? That was like in World of Warcraft. That was like the class. That was the class.
How can you sneak up on somebody if you smell like death? I'm just
true.
not seeing it.
I think, but you're
A magic user
ogre.
of some sort, caster.
Wizard, enchanter.
They're full of that dark magic, so yeah, I could see that.
Not crusader though, not cleric.
No.
I might could see a crusader depending on the allegiance of the undead. I mean, it's did they find religion when they were raised? You never know. Some of them maybe want to try to repent.
All these deep questions for our
absolutely
our tunes. My tune
Right.
found God when I made him. So
hey, I already told you in the last cast I tried that in EQ and it didn't work.
That's right.
so yeah. So anything else on the Revenant before we sign out?
I would love to see some screenshots of this race with
Or just
Concepts, anything.
art, right?
Yeah.
concept or anything. This is one of those races that, if really graphically done well, and it looks like a lot of these races are going to be graphically done well, if really graphically done well, this could really be an interesting race, because it's the undead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
Well, it
it.
definitely screams Dark Knight, though, because you get the necro
Yes.
side of it. I mean, it's perfect for that.
Perfect.
almost like
But
it's
they can't
built.
just be one class race.
Well, no.
I think wizard and maybe rogue.
Shaman, maybe.
Maybe.
No.
I don't
No,
know.
I don't think
No.
shaman.
I think the
Nah.
ogre more likely.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But
Mm.
I don't know. We'll,
That's
we'll probably be surprised when they're like every race and every class.
No, I don't
But
see
No.
that.
they've
this
they've
game.
stated that already that it's not. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
And you got to think, I can't remember if they're bringing back racial benefits or not. You know, what benefits would this race give to would it be higher intelligence, which would obviously lead toward any type of caster, so to speak.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all we have for tonight on the Revenant for Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. So if you haven't yet, go back. Go if you've backed already, up your back. up
Back
your
again?
pledge. Up your pledge.
Act for your friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Act for your friend's friend.
And spread the word. Spread the word.
Spread the word. Most important
Spread the
thing you
word.
can do.
Yeah.
Even if hey, even if you don't want to play the game or back it yourself, spread the word so other people hear about it.
Yep. And so
Absolutely.
We look forward
Especially
to the next.
if you lean toward the old school MMOs.
Yeah, definitely. So we look forward to the next class reveal, which is on Friday, and then we should have another race reveal the next day, or tomorrow actually, which would be Wednesday from the time we're casting at this time. And so if you haven't checked out any of our videos, just check them out on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at Grievance Gaming. And yeah, look forward to our next cast about the next race and the next class. And then also on Sunday, are we still doing
Super
Not
Bowl
Sunday.
Sunday, no cast.
No.
Yeah, so our next one will be the 9th? 10th. Yeah, 9th.
10th?
No. 9th. 9th is a Sunday, right?
9th. Okay.
Final Fantasy cast Saturday, I believe.
Okay, Final Fantasy cast
That'll
on
be the next
Saturday.
one.
And then we
Yes.
have Thursday, EverQuest Next, and Wildstar.
Yep. So look forward to all of our casts and just look for them on YouTube if you can't watch them live. All right. Thanks, Nightangel. Thanks, Steel. And we'll
Yes,
see you guys
sir.
next time.
Have a good night.
Bye, guys.